her. And it was so hard for me. Like when I first got on top, I wanted to like ground and pound so bad because that's just like I personally think that's one of my bigger strengths. So like I literally kind of had to hold myself back once we got onto the ground. And I was like, okay, like go for a submission or like hit her body. Don't hit her in the face and get disqualified. Um, so I did try to go for that rear naked choke. I just couldn't get in like the perfect position for it. I felt like if I had pulled her like all the way into like my back guard, then I could have finished it. But it was already the end of the third, and like I was already in like a dominant position. I felt pretty good about the fight already, so I kind of just kept that position and kind of just held out to the end of the fight.
How about, the fact that, you guys, Michigan, Philadelphia, tell me a little bit about that. Like, when your coach came to you and said, "Hey, Ashley, we got this opportunity to go to Philly," were you like really excited about that? I mean, how did that hit you? Like going so far from home to take a flight?
I'm used to traveling, competing, especially from, my background in college wrestling. We would travel all over the country to compete. So that wasn't anything that was like weird to me. I'm like, okay, if you think this is a good fight for me, basically let's do it. I don't mind traveling at all. Honestly, I think it's kind of nice to travel because it's like, okay, once you leave and like you're away from your family and your friends, you're like, okay, this is go time. Like it's easier to I feel like it's almost easier to zone in. Um, but yeah, I like traveling. I know I'll have to do it in the future for this career. So I don't mind it at all. I actually kind of like traveling. I hadn't been to Philly before, so that was cool.
Now, I want to learn about your path into mixed martial arts. I know that, well, obviously your path before mixed martial arts was wrestling. So tell me a little bit about that when you started wrestling in your life. And, when you were wrestling, did you know that, you were going to pursue mixed martial arts? Tell me a little bit about, the course of your life to get to this point.
Yeah, for sure. So I started wrestling when I was a junior in high school, so that was a little bit later as well. And in high school, I was like the only girl on an all boys team, so I was mostly wrestling guys, which I don't even know how I stuck through that because that was awful. But I love it. No, I did. And then I went to University of the Cumberlands in college. I wrestled 4 years there. Really enjoyed that. My senior year, I became an All-American. I would say there's where I really learned how to like work hard. Um, when graduating college, people were like, "Oh, are you gonna like continue wrestling or like coaching or whatever?" And I had people ask me if I was gonna do MMA, and I was just like, "Bro, I do not want to get hit in the face. Like, no way." So even if you asked me just a couple of years ago, I would have been like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then the year after I graduated, I moved out to Arizona, and I ended up coaching like a high school wrestling team that had a good amount of girls on it too. There was like 5 or 6 girls on the team, but I also coached the boys, and so I really enjoyed that. But towards the end of that year, I was like, like I like coaching, but like I'm not done being an athlete yet. So I have technically like I had one more year of eligibility in college left because of COVID. So I was like, should I go back and like wrestle one more year? Um, should I try to like wrestle at the senior level? And I was kind of talking to my friends about this, like asking what they think I should do. And I had several people say like, bro, like you should try MMA, like just try it. And I was like, oh, like I don't know. But then I'm always like the kind of person where I'm like, okay, you got to try something at least once, right? And so once I moved back to Michigan, I already knew about scorpion fighting systems from like I did some wrestling camps there when I was in high school. So I was like, okay, let me try them out. I already know them, know their quality there. And so I did practice for a couple of days, and then I was like, okay, James, I'm gonna fight for you for sure. Like I fell in love with it super fast. Really liked it. But yeah, that I just started training MMA a little bit like right under a year ago. So yeah, hasn't been even super long.
So that now you're all in. You know what?
Yeah.
But I love to hear that. And obviously, 2-0 as an amateur, and the future is bright. Like I love the wrestling background. And like I said, you put on a show. You told me that you like to put on a show. Where did that come from? Like I said, she comes out, starts the night in the ski mask. Ashley, the attitude, Eichner. I mean, like I said, you set the tone for your team. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I haven't always loved the camera. Even since I was young. I don't know. I think that, you know, I'm also in like accounting and business. That's like my full-time job. So like I kind of see the business side of like, being a big MMA person. If you want to be like a star in the UFC, like Conor McGregor, Sugar Sean, or anyone like that, like those people are entertaining. They're good fighters, but they bring the entertainment. And I want to be a big, like, well-known person, and be in the UFC. And so I know that's a big part of it. So, and I love seeing like people happy from that kind of stuff and getting hyped up from it. I think it's just so fun.
Listen, you and your whole team. I mean, we had a buggy choke from Spencer Rivas.
Yeah.
Phelan had the rear naked choke. I think that's where I got confused. You had the night victory. You guys come in from Michigan. And listen, on a regional show, it's normally, you see once in a while, you'll see somebody travel in. But when I saw, three fighters from Michigan coming all the way to Philly, I got excited. And boy, oh boy, you all put on a show. It was an amazing night. I hope you guys enjoyed your stay. Did you guys have fun in Philly? How were you treated?
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, after the fights, we kind of went out and celebrated. Unfortunately, Spencer's only 20, so he couldn't hang out in the casino with us. But yeah, we just hung out for a little bit, hung out with people that came out to watch us fight. And then we ended the night by Philly cheesesteaks, which is perfect.
Cool. Once again, I am with Ashley, the attitude Eichner, and make sure you get her name right, or she's going to ground and pound you into submission. Ashley, any sponsors, anybody you want to say thanks to or give some shout outs to? Time is yours.
Yeah, definitely. I have a couple of sponsors I'd like to thank. Element Float Spa and Cryotherapy. I was able to do a lot of like my recovery stuff there. They helped me out a ton. Choose Fit Nutrition, meal prep company back in Michigan. Pretty much everything I ate in my cut was from them, made it super easy for me. And then Dark Shield Media does a lot of my social media content. They're super great as well. And then, of course, just thanking my friends and family, especially my mom. She supports me so much. But yeah, just super thankful that I'm here at this point, and I'm excited for the future.
And listen, I'm excited for the future too, because I know this is not the last time you and I are going to talk about you fighting. Yeah. Ashley, attitude Eichner, she's got it all, and she works hard. She got that wrestling background. She knows about cardio, weight cutting, and now she's in love with the sport. I'm going to put everybody click. I'm going to put her Instagram link in the article. Follow Ashley, because listen, I'm going to be following her. I'm going to be talking to her, following her career. I know it's bright. Ashley, give James a big shout out for me. You guys all performed fantastic.